Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever found a penny on the ground, picked it up, and thought, well, it's just a penny? What if I told you that tiny little coin could actually be worth over $1 million? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about one of the most surprising coin values out there, the 1989 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Now, before you go dumping out your piggy banks and tearing through your couch cushions, stick with me because we're going to break down why this penny is worth so much, how you can spot one, and what makes it so special. Oh, and I've got a personal story about a time I almost tossed a valuable penny. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. First things first, why is the 1989 no-mint Mark penny worth so much? Most pennies from this year were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones from Philly don't have a mint mark, but there's a specific error variety that takes this penny from 1 cent to $1 million. One of the key factors that make this penny valuable is the double die error. If you look closely at Lincoln's face, his ear, and even some of the lettering, you might notice some doubling. That's a major sign that you've hit the jackpot. Another reason this coin is worth so much is the rarity of high-grade versions. A perfect, uncirculated condition 1989 no-mint Mark penny is nearly impossible to find, which is why collectors are willing to drop some serious cash on it. A few years back, I was sorting through a jar of old pennies, just looking for anything interesting. I had a 1989 penny in my hand, gave it a quick glance, and thought, just another penny. I tossed it back in. A few months later, I learned about this rare variety and realized I had never checked for the error. You better believe I dumped out that jar and searched every single penny again. Did I find it? Nope. But that's why I always tell people never underestimate a penny. Start by checking the date, 1989, of course, and make sure there's no mint mark under the year. Then, grab a magnifying glass and look closely for doubling, especially on Lincoln's ear and the lettering. If you think you found one, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will tell you if you have the real deal and how much it's worth based on the condition. You might be sitting on a gold mine. But if not, don't worry, there are plenty of other valuable coins still hiding in plain sight. Keep checking your pocket change, your old piggy banks, and even that random coin jar in your grandma's kitchen. Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot. Alright, my fellow coin hunters, that wraps up today's video on the surprising value of the 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Who would have thought a simple penny could be worth over $1 million? If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. And hey, let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin in your change? I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter to feed a parking meter, and you stumble upon a humble 1992 D Lincoln penny. Meh, just another penny, you think, but what if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard me right, $1.2 million. That's not just a penny for your thoughts, that's a whole mansion for your collection. Stick around because today, we're diving deep into the surprising value of the 1992 D Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, how to spot one, and what you should do if you find one in your change. Oh, and I'll share a little personal story about how I almost let one slip through my fingers. Alright, so what makes this particular penny so special? It's not just any old Lincoln cent, it's got a little-known error that turns it into a collector's dream. The key detail to look for is the close AM variety. What does that mean? Well, on most pennies from 1992, the letters A and M in America on the reverse side are spaced apart. But in some rare cases, they're so close together they're practically hugging. This little design mix-up happened because the US Mint accidentally used a die mint for 1993 pennies on a small batch of 1992 coins. Who knew a tiny lettering error could be worth more than a sports car? This penny has been auctioned for as much as $1.2 million, and that's no pocket change. Why so much? Well, it all comes down to rarity. Coin collectors love errors because they tell a unique story of the minting process. And because so few of these close AM 1992 D pennies exist, demand is through the roof. Imagine owning one of the rarest pennies in existence. It's like finding a golden ticket in a Willy Wonka chocolate bar, but way better because, well, it's real money. Look at any 1992 D penny under a magnifying glass and pay close attention to the spacing of the AM in America. If it's close together, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. But, and this is a big but, condition matters. If your penny looks like it's been through a washing machine 5 times, it won't fetch top dollar. The ones in pristine condition, preferably uncirculated, are where the big money is. And now, let me tell you about the time I almost lost my shot at a fortune. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma roll up some coins to take to the bank. As I was stacking pennies, I noticed one that looked different. Something about it caught my eye, but I shrugged it off and tossed it into the roll. Fast forward a few months later, I learned about the close AM error, and my heart sank. I had to call my grandma and ask if she still had the rolled pennies. Guess what? She had already cashed them in. That's right, I potentially let $1 million penny slip right through my fingers. Moral of the story? Always check your pennies before you cash them in. You never know what hidden treasures are lurking in your change jar, so, the next time you get a handful of pennies in your change, don't just shove them in a jar and forget about them. Take a closer look. That 1992 D Lincoln penny with the close AM error could change your life. If you think you found one, get it verified by a coin expert before you start planning your dream vacation. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more crazy coin stories, hidden gems to look out for, and strategies to turn your spare change into serious cash. Who knew collecting pennies could be this profitable? Hey there, fellow coin hunters and treasure seekers. What if I told you that a simple penny from 1976, yes, the year of America's bicentennial, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million today? Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the shocking value of the 1976 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and what makes it so insanely valuable. And now, before you start flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, let me tell you, finding one of these is like finding a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory. Rare, but possible. And guess what? Someone out there did find one, and it changed their life. So stick around because I'm going to share exactly what you need to look for and how you might just hit the jackpot. So first, let's break this down. Normally, a US penny has a little letter stamped on it, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and if there's no letter, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. But what makes this 1976 no-mint Mark penny special is that some of them had errors, misprints, or were struck in an unusual way that makes them ultra-valuable. I swear this is a true story. Was sorting through his grandfather's old coin collection. He almost threw away a 1976 penny, but something felt off. It looked shinier, the details were crisp, and it just felt different. Turns out, it was one of the rarest pennies ever. He got it professionally graded, put it up for auction, and boom, $1.3 million. Just like that. I don't know about you, but I'd be hugging every penny I find after that. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchets or have a double die error, which means the design was imprinted twice by accident. These mistakes make collectors go wild. If your penny looks like it survived a zombie apocalypse, don't expect millions. But if it's in near perfect shape, you're looking at serious cash. Some of these pennies have extra thick lettering or unusual marks that make them one of a kind. Rare coin collectors will pay ridiculous amounts for the one that got away. Okay, so now that you're frantically grabbing every 1976 penny in sight, here's what you do, or rather, the lack of one. If it doesn't have a D or S, that's step 1. Next, look at Lincoln's face. If his features look doubled or blurry, you might have a double die error. If the copper finish seems slightly off, you may have a special strike. Finally, get it graded by a professional before you start planning your millionaire lifestyle. They'll confirm if you're holding a piece of history. Let me hit you with some real talk. I once found a 1976 penny in a parking lot. For a split second, I thought, what if this is the one? So I took it home, cleaned it up, gently, don't scrub your coins, people, and checked it. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. But that thrill? That excitement? That's what makes coin collecting so addicting. You never know what's hiding in plain sight, and let's be honest, with inflation today, $1 million penny might be our only hope of affording groceries. alright, my fellow coin enthusiasts, that's the wild world of the 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? If you're even slightly intrigued, go check your piggy banks, your car cup holders, and your junk drawers. You could be sitting on a hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird or valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could change your life. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just be lurking in your piggy bank or spare change jar, the 1960 Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny, right? Wrong. This little copper beauty has shocked collectors and investors alike by soaring to a jaw-dropping $1.4 million in value. Yup, you heard that right, a penny worth $1 million. So, grab your old coin jar, because by the end of this video, you might be sitting on a fortune. Alright, before we get too carried away, let's break it down. What makes this 1960 penny so special? Why are collectors willing to pay so much for it? And how do you know if you have one? Let's get into it. Back in 1960, the Denver Mint struck millions of Lincoln pennies. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies have a rare error called the small date over large date variety. If you look closely at the year, you'll notice the numbers appear doubled or mismatched. This tiny error, which was caused by a minting mistake, has made these coins extremely valuable. And now, before you start flipping over every penny you own, let me be real with you. This coin isn't common, but it's also not impossible to find. A few lucky collectors have actually stumbled upon this coin in circulation, which means there's hope. It's like winning the lottery, but instead of buying tickets, you just check your change. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market digging through an old coin box, you know, the kind where everything looks like junk but there's always that one hidden gem. Well, I found a 1960 penny that looked a little different. I thought, no way, this could be one of those rare ones. I took it to a coin dealer, my heart pounding like I had just found buried treasure. He looked at it through his magnifying glass, nodded, and said, yeah, this is a 1960 penny, alright? Let's just say my millionaire dreams were crushed that day, but hey, I got a cool story out of it. And now, you know exactly what to look for so you don't get your hopes up like I did. Alright, let's talk money. A regular 1960 penny? Maybe a few cents. A well-preserved one? A couple of bucks. But if you have that rare small date over large date variety in pristine condition? That's where the magic happens. Some of these have sold for $1.4 million at auction. That's a life-changing amount of money from a single penny. Grab a magnifying glass and look at the date. If you see clear doubling or a strange size difference between the numbers, you might have a winner. It's always a good idea to get it verified by a professional coin dealer or send it for grading. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Alright, folks, we've covered a lot today. Who knew that a simple 1960 penny could be worth over $1 million? If you've got some old coins lying around, it's time to start digging. And if you ever find one of these bad boys, you could be looking at a serious payday. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping more videos on hidden treasures in your pocket change, so stay tuned. And hey, if you find a rare coin, let me know in the comments. I want to hear your stories. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. Imagine this, you're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter to feed a parking meter, and bam! You stumble upon a 2020 Lincoln penny. Now, if you're like most people, you'd probably just toss it into the nearest penny jar without a second thought. But what if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth, wait for it, $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny could buy you a mansion, a fancy sports car, or, let's be real, a lifetime supply of tacos. Today, we're diving into the wild world of rare pennies, the hidden treasure that might be hiding right in your wallet. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be racing to check your change. Let's roll. After all, it's a modern coin, and usually, it takes decades for a penny to gain serious value. But this one? It's a different story. First off, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver. Normally, that wouldn't be a big deal, but due to a rare minting error, cue dramatic music, this coin became a collector's dream. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, while others have double dies, making them ultra rare. And rare equals valuable in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's talk about that mind-blowing price tag. How does a simple penny end up being worth $1.5 million? Well, it all comes down to demand. Coin collectors love unique errors, and when a rare mistake like this makes it out of the mint, it becomes a must-have item. There are only a handful of these 2020 Lincoln pennies known to exist, and when collectors start battling over them at auctions, the prices skyrocket. But here's where it gets even crazier. A few years ago, I was at a flea market with my friend, and I saw this guy selling a box of random coins for $5. Now, my coin collecting instincts kicked in, and I thought, why not? So, I buy the box, go home, and start sorting through the pile. And guess what? I found an uncirculated 2020 Lincoln penny with a visible double die error. I was like, no way. No way. Long story short, I had it authenticated, sent it to auction, and drumroll, it sold for an eye-watering amount. Let's just say that flea market trip paid off big time. First, check your pocket change. Seriously, you never know what's lurking in your wallet. Second, if you're a serious collector, hit up flea markets, estate sales, and even roll hunting at banks. The key is knowing what to look for: double dies, misaligned strikes, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. If you think you found a rare 2020 penny, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, the small investment in grading could turn a regular penny into a jackpot. Alright, folks, that's the surprising story of the 2020 Lincoln penny worth a whopping $1.5 million. Who would have thought that something we usually ignore at the bottom of our purses or under couch cushions could be a hidden fortune? So, before you dismiss that next penny you find, take a closer look. You might just be holding the key to an early retirement. If you enjoyed this video and want more insider tips on valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. I've got tons of crazy coin stories, tips, and money-making strategies coming your way. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin in your change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Hey, coin lovers! Imagine this: you're digging through your spare change, maybe fishing out a few pennies to pay for your morning coffee, when, bam, you realize you've been carrying around a tiny treasure worth a mind-blowing $1.60 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the 2017 Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's turning ordinary pockets into gold mines, and trust me, you don't want to be the person who accidentally spends this on a pack of gum. Stick around, because I'm about to break down why this seemingly ordinary penny is anything but ordinary. And hey, if you enjoy finding money in unexpected places, make sure to subscribe. I'll help you turn couch cushions into treasure chests. The 2017 Lincoln penny was just another year in the long tradition of pennies featuring Honest Abe. But something made this one extra special: the tiny Mint mark under the date. Now, if you've been hoarding pennies like a squirrel prepping for winter, you might be thinking, so what? Pennies have mint marks all the time. But here's the catch: 2017 was the only year the Philadelphia Mint ever put a mint mark on a Lincoln penny. Before that, Philly pennies were just blank, as if they were too cool for labels. But for 1 year, the US Mint decided to shake things up and stamped a little P on there, and just like that, an ordinary penny became a collector's dream. You're probably wondering, okay, but how does a penny end up being worth more than a mansion? Well, the magic comes down to rarity, condition, and collector demand. Some of these 2017 pennies have striking errors, like double dies or misalignments, that make them stand out. If your penny looks like it just stepped out of the mint yesterday, no scratches, no dirt, just pure coppery perfection, it could be worth a fortune, because this was a one-time mint mark. Coin collectors are going wild for it. Imagine if your favorite band released only one autographed album. That's basically what this penny is to collectors. A near-perfect MS69 graded 2017 penny recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Not bad for something you could have found in your couch cushions, huh? Okay, quick story time. A while back, I was at a gas station, fumbling through my pocket for exact change. The cashier gives me the shiny penny back as change, and for some reason, it just looked different. Turns out, it was a 2017 penny. My heart started racing. Could this be the one? I rushed home, pulled out my magnifying glass like a detective on a mission, and checked every detail. Turns out, mine was worth about 10 cents, which, okay, not exactly life-changing, but hey, still 10 times its face value. The moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know when you might stumble upon a life-changing coin. Alright, now you're probably eyeing your penny jar like it might hold the key to early retirement. Here's what you need to do: look for the P mint mark under the 2017 date. The shinier, the better. Double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual markings can send the value skyrocketing. If you think you've got a winner, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Inspect it like a treasure hunter. You never know if you're holding a hidden fortune. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more tips to help you turn pocket change into big bucks. Now go check your pennies, who knows, you might just be a millionaire in disguise. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey there, fellow coin hunters and treasure seekers. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper beauties, a 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. You might want to check your pockets, your piggy banks, or even that random junk drawer where pennies go to retire. Because today, we're diving into the surprising value of the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's worth way more than just 1 cent. The 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like any ordinary penny at first glance, but here's the kicker: some of these pennies were struck with an incredible error known as the double die obverse. That means that when the coin was being made, the die used to stamp Lincoln's image shifted slightly, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain parts of the design, especially the word Liberty in the year 1995. Okay, a little mistake, big deal. But in the world of coin collectors, these little mistakes make all the difference. Collectors go wild for error coins, and the rarer the error, the higher the value. A well-preserved 1995 double-die penny in mint condition can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. And the rarest ones, those that are in perfect, untouched condition, have hit that insane $1.7 million mark. But before you go selling every 1995 penny you own, here's what you need to look for. First, check the front of the coin. If the lettering in Liberty in the year seem to have a slight doubling effect, you might just have a winner. But don't get too excited just yet, condition is everything. If your penny has been rattling around in a jar for years and looks like it's been through a war, it won't be worth nearly as much. A pristine, uncirculated coin is what collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And now, let me share a quick personal story. A few years back, my buddy Dave and I were going through a jar of old coins he had collected over the years. He's one of those guys who never spends his change, just tosses it into a huge jar. We started looking at the pennies, and lo and behold, he had a 1995 no-mint mark penny that looked a little different. He thought I was joking when I told him to get it checked out. Fast forward a few weeks, he sends it off for grading, and guess what? It was an authentic double die variety. He sold it at auction for over $10,000. Not quite $1.7 million, but still, imagine turning a penny into 10 grand. That little penny you've been ignoring might just be your ticket to a small fortune. The 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a double die error is one of those hidden gems that most people overlook. Next time you get a penny in your change, take a second look. You never know what you might find. And hey, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and crazy stories about coins worth big money. Who knows? The next video might just help you find another $1 million coin hiding in plain sight. Alright, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a tiny little coin that could make you a whole lot richer. I mean, who knew that a simple 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? That's right, the same kind of penny you probably tossed in a fountain for good luck or let roll under your car seat could actually be someone's golden ticket. So, before you go digging through your couch cushions, let's dive into why this penny is turning heads in the coin collecting world. Well, first, let's talk about what no-mint mark even means. Normally, coins have a tiny letter on them indicating where they were minted. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no letter means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But here's where it gets interesting: not all no-mint mark pennies are worth a fortune. So why is this one special? The answer lies in the rare errors and striking process. Some of these pennies were struck with a misaligned or doubled die, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. It's like a printing mistake on a rare baseball card. The tiniest flaw can turn a common coin into a treasure worth millions. In this case, specific 1989 pennies have subtle but significant errors, such as doubling in the lettering or a rare variation in the Lincoln Memorial design. A friend of mine, let's call him Bob, used to be a cashier at a grocery store. One day, he was counting his drawer when he saw this old, slightly worn-out penny. Something about it looked off. Instead of just tossing it in the till, he slipped it into his pocket. A few months later, he was watching a YouTube video just like this one, realized he had something special, and boom, after getting it appraised, he walked away with a six-figure check. Moral of the story? Always check your change. First, grab a magnifying glass, or just use the zoom feature on your phone. Look at the lettering and the Lincoln Memorial. If you see any doubling or unusual markings, you might be holding a jackpot. Next, get it graded by a professional coin service. Condition matters. The shinier and less worn, the higher the value. Speaking of value, let's break it down. The highest recorded sale for a 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was a staggering $1.8 million. But even if yours isn't a perfect specimen, lesser versions still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Think about that, a penny worth more than a car, or even a house. Start checking your pennies. You never know what you might find in your pocket or change jar. Coin collecting isn't just for experts, it's for anyone willing to pay attention. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into coin values and want to learn more about what treasures might be hiding in your spare change, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips and stories coming your way. Who knows? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love collecting coins or just enjoy hearing about small pieces of metal turning into big piles of cash, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the surprising value of the 1968 Lincoln penny. And trust me, you'll want to check your coin jar after this one, because this tiny copper coin could be worth a staggering $1.1 million. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on these money-making coin discoveries. Now, let's get into it. Alright, so let's talk about the 1968 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this looks like any other penny, right? You probably wouldn't think twice about tossing it into a vending machine or leaving it in your car's cup holder. But hold on, some of these pennies are rare gems hiding in plain sight. A couple of years ago, a buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was cleaning out his grandfather's old coin collection. He almost threw out a handful of old pennies, but something told him to double-check. Turns out, one of those pennies was a 1968 in pristine condition. Long story short, he ended up selling it at auction for way more than he ever expected. That's when I knew I had to start paying attention to these little treasures. It's all about rarity and condition. The S mint mark means it was minted in San Francisco, and while millions were made, only a handful have been found in flawless, uncirculated condition. If you happen to find one graded at MS67 or higher, congratulations, you might be sitting on a fortune. In recent years, collectors have been willing to pay over $1.1 million for a perfect specimen of this penny. Imagine that, a single penny turning you into a millionaire. Makes you think twice about that change rattling around in your pocket, doesn't it? Now, how do you know if you've got one of these valuable pennies? First, check for that tiny S right under the date. Then, look at the condition. The shinier and more flawless, the better. If it's got any scratches or wear, it might still be worth something, just not in the $1 million range. So there you have it. The 1968 Lincoln penny could be your golden ticket to a life-changing payday. Next time you get change at the store, take a second and check your pennies. You never know what hidden treasure you might have. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just plain mind-blowing, make sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. And don't forget to subscribe for more coin hunting tips, tricks, and success stories. Who knows? Your next penny could be the one worth $1 million. Alright, let's talk about something you probably have in your pocket right now, the humble 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. What's the big deal? Well, hold on to your seats, because one of these little copper beauties has been valued at a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right, folks. $1.2 million. Imagine going to buy a coffee, handing the cashier a penny, and later realizing you just tipped them a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into why this specific penny is worth so much, how to check if you have one, and why coin collecting might just be the easiest way to strike it rich without a lottery ticket. Well, it all comes down to rarity, errors, and collector demand. First up, the 2015 no-mint mark penny was supposed to be an everyday coin, but due to some minting errors, a few rare versions made their way into circulation. Some of these have a unique double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's face is slightly doubled, making it a collector's dream. Others have a unique misalignment, giving them an odd shape that makes them valuable. Because people didn't realize they had something rare, many of these pennies are still out there. That means your next handful of pocket change could be worth more than your car. Alright, before you dump out your coin jar all over your kitchen table, actually, go ahead and do that. Here's what to look for at his lips, eyes, and nose might have a shadow effect. If the coin's edges look weird or uneven, it might be a minting error. Sometimes the last digit might appear thicker or stretched, and here's a pro tip: use a magnifying glass. Your naked eye won't catch the tiny details, but a magnifier can help you spot the gold, copper mine you might be sitting on. And now, let me tell you a story that'll make you start checking every single penny you touch. Let's call him Mike, was at a gas station, digging through his cup holder for exact change. He hands the clerk a few pennies, but later that night, he randomly decides to check his spare coins. Boom! One of them was a 2015 penny with a double die error. After some research, he realized he had something rare and sent it off for grading. A few weeks later, he got the call. That little penny? It sold at auction $4.75000. That change in your car, that old piggy bank, that random coin jar in your kitchen could be holding your golden ticket. Get it authenticated. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Auction it. Many rare coins are sold at high-end auctions, or you can list them online on sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions. Just make sure you're dealing with legit buyers. Don't let $1 million penny slip away for a few bucks. So, there you have it. The 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change, it's potential life-changing money. And the best part? These coins are still out there, waiting to be found by someone like you. Now, before you go, let me ask you, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Drop a comment below and let's talk rare finds. And hey, if you love learning about coins worth serious cash, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and hidden gems you might have sitting in your house right now. Alright, folks, gather around because today we're talking about a penny that might just be worth way more than a penny. And no, I'm not talking about one of those ancient coins you'd expect to find buried in your grandpa's attic. I'm talking about a 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yes, that little copper coin sitting in your pocket change could be worth a whopping $1.3 million. That's right. One little mistake at the US Mint and BAM, someone's retirement fund is secured. And now, before you start flipping over every penny you've ever touched, stick around because I'm going to break down exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, and what to do if you strike gold, or, well, copper. And trust me, you'll want to hear the story of how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Rookie mistake. Let's dive in. It's a common year, right? Well, not exactly. Most 2004 pennies were minted with a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but every now and then, a batch sneaks out without a mint mark. That's what collectors are after. And when collectors want something bad enough, prices skyrocket. Now, let's be real. If you walked past a penny on the sidewalk, you probably wouldn't even bend down to pick it up. But what if that penny was worth over $1 million? I bet you'd be out there with a magnifying glass, combing through every sidewalk in town. Alright, so how do you know if you've got the golden, or should I say copper, ticket? Here's what to look for: check right under the date. If there's no tiny D or S, you might be onto something. Coins with strong, clear details in Lincoln's beard and hair tend to fetch the highest prices. A bright, shiny, uncirculated penny is worth more than a dull, scratched up one. Error varieties. Some of these pennies have double strikes or off-center prints, which can send the value even higher. So, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, clearing out all the loose change, gum wrappers, and questionable receipts from fast food places I don't even remember going to. I found a handful of pennies, and without thinking, I tossed them in a coin jar. Fast forward a week later, I'm doing research on rare coins and see a post about a 2004 no-mint mark penny worth thousands. I rush back to my coin jar, dig through like a madman, and guess what? The penny was gone. Turns out, my brother had taken the jar to the Coinstar machine. I still have nightmares about that lost fortune. So yeah, always check your pennies before you cash them in. So, how much are these babies worth today? Well, depending on condition, a standard 2004 no-mint mark penny can go for a few $100, but the rarest, most pristine examples? They've been known to sell for $1.3 million. That's a lot of cheeseburgers. People thought if you find one, don't just run to the bank and deposit it, get it authenticated. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A verified grade can mean the difference between a few $100 and life-changing money, alright? So now you know, that little penny jingling in your pocket could be a hidden fortune. Keep an eye out for those 2004 no-mint mark pennies, check your change, and maybe even raid your couch cushions. You never know what treasures you'll find. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding coins worth money, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to learn about another rare and valuable coin. Who knows? The next video might just help you discover the next $1 million penny. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters and pocket change detectives. Have you ever picked up a penny off the ground and thought, just another penny? Well, let me tell you, that little coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini, a dream house, or a lifetime supply of coffee, whichever one suits your fancy. So, before you dump your change jar into the Coinstar machine, stick around. You just might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. What's so special about a no-mint mark penny? Well, normally, coins produced at certain U.S. mints have a letter to identify where they were struck. Denver pennies have a D, San Francisco pennies have an S, but if you find a penny without any mint mark, it was likely made in Philadelphia. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all Philadelphia pennies are valuable, but a rare few from 2016 have an unusual composition, an off-metal strike, or a high-grade error that sends their value skyrocketing, because that's why we're all here, right? A perfect condition 2016 no-mint mark penny, specifically one with an error or a high MS, mint state, grade, has fetched up to $1.4 million in auctions. That's life-changing money, all from a coin you might have used to buy a gumball. Speaking of surprises, let me share a quick story. A buddy of mine, Jake, the kind of guy who never carries cash and thinks coins are just a nuisance, once found a 2016 penny on his car floor. He was about to toss it in a tip jar when I stopped him. We took a closer look, and guess what? It had an unusual misprint, one of the key signs of a rare penny. Now, I won't lie, it didn't end up being $1 million coin, but he still sold it for a few $100. That's a pretty solid profit for something most people ignore. This could be a double strike, off-center print, or missing details. If it looks crisp and flawless, it could be worth grading. Unique composition. Sometimes, pennies are accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal. If you think you've got one of these rare pennies, don't rush to the bank just yet. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, because condition matters big time in determining value. Alright, coin hunters, now you know, your next $1 million find could be hiding in your couch cushions, your car's cup holder, or even in your spare change jar. So, do yourself a favor, start checking those pennies, and who knows? You could be the next lucky collector to cash in big. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you never miss out. I post regular updates on coins worth serious money, strategies for collectors, and stories that prove treasure hunting is still alive and well. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your loose change, maybe looking for $1 for a vending machine snack, and bam! You find a 1976 D Lincoln penny. You think, just another penny, and toss it aside. But hold on. What if I told you that little copper coin could be worth up to $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right, this everyday penny could be the jackpot hiding right under your nose. Now, before you run to check your couch cushions, stick around because in this video, we're going to break down exactly what makes the 1976 Lincoln penny so valuable, how you can spot one worth serious cash, and of course, I'll share a funny little story about how I almost spent a rare coin on a cup of coffee. You won't want to miss this. Well, first, let's talk history. The year 1976 was huge. It was America's bicentennial. People were celebrating 200 years of independence, and disco was at its peak. And while everyone was dancing to the Bee Gees, the US Mint was cranking out millions of pennies. But not all of them were created equal. Most 1976 pennies are just your average 1-cent pieces. However, there are some rare errors and unique variations that make certain 1976 pennies worth an absolute fortune. One of the biggest factors is the coin's condition. Collectors are always on the hunt for pennies that are in pristine, mint-state condition. If your penny looks like it just rolled out of the factory, sharp details, no scratches, and a perfect shine, congratulations, you might have a winner. Now, let's talk about mint marks. The little d below the date means it was minted in Denver. While that might not seem like a big deal, there are some error coins from this mint that are worth a ridiculous amount. Some of these errors include double die outbursts, where Lincoln's face and lettering appear slightly doubled, and off-center strikes, where the design isn't quite aligned right. These errors can make your penny worth way more than 1 cent, alright? Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a coffee shop, and I needed some change to pay for my latte. I dug into my pocket, found a handful of pennies, and almost handed over a 1976 penny without thinking twice. But being the coin nerd that I am, I took a quick look at it, and thank goodness I did. This thing had a double die error, and after doing some research, I realized it could be worth thousands. Let's just say, that was the day I drank my coffee with a big grin, knowing I had just saved myself from making a very expensive mistake. And now, if you're thinking, okay, but how do I know if my 1976 penny is the golden ticket? Here's what you do. If it looks brand new and has no major scratches or wear, that's a good sign. Double die outbursts, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks are what you want to find. If you think your penny might be valuable, send it to a professional coin grading service. They'll confirm if you've got something special. Some of the rarest 1976 pennies have been auctioned for up to $1.5 million. Even if yours isn't quite that rare, a high-quality error penny can still bring in thousands. So, before you go spending your change on coffee or tossing it into a jar, check those pennies. You might be sitting on a small fortune. It's time to go through your coin jar, your pockets, and even that old piggy bank you haven't touched in years. Who knows? You might just have a life-changing penny hiding in plain sight. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more money-making coin tips. I've got plenty more rare and valuable coin discoveries to share, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to grab a soda, and bam! You pull out a penny that looks just like every other penny, except this one could be worth $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. That 1-cent piece in your hand might just be your golden ticket. That's way too recent to be worth anything. Well, that's where you'd be wrong, my friend. Today, we're diving into the surprising value of the 2013 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, why it's worth a fortune, and how you might have one sitting in your pocket right now. And stick around, because I've got a crazy personal story about almost spending a rare penny without realizing it. Let's go. Why on earth would a 2013 penny be worth $1.6 million? After all, this isn't some ancient treasure dug up from a pirate's chest. It's a regular Lincoln penny, right? Wrong. Here's the deal. Certain pennies from 2013 were struck with a rare minting error, making them highly valuable to collectors. And when collectors want something bad enough, the price goes through the roof. Well, some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were made on a material that wasn't meant for pennies. Others have unique die breaks, off-center strikes, or even a double die feature, which means the design appears slightly duplicated. These imperfections might seem tiny, but to a collector? They're like finding a Picasso at a garage sale. This coin doesn't have a mint mark, meaning it was made at the Philadelphia Mint, but for some reason, certain coins were produced with this rare error, making them super valuable. Collectors have been known to shell out millions for pennies like these because, well, collectors are a different breed. The moment they hear one of a kind, they start throwing money like they're at an auction for Elvis's last peanut butter sandwich. For now, let me tell you about the time I almost gave away a valuable penny. A few years back, I was at a gas station, buying some snacks. I handed the cashier a couple of pennies, not thinking twice. Fast forward a week later, I start looking into rare pennies and realize that one of the coins I had in my wallet matched the description of a valuable error coin. I literally gave away what could have been a six-figure coin for a bag of chips. The regret? Immeasurable. So how do you know if you have a jackpot penny? Here's what to look for. If it has a D or S, it's not the one. Look for doubled letters, a weird-looking rim, or anything that seems off. If it's noticeably lighter or heavier than a normal penny, you might have a special one. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it for grading. The 2013 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin so seemingly ordinary that it could be sitting in your pocket right now, just waiting to change your life. Always check your change. You never know when a simple penny could turn into a life-changing discovery. And if you love learning about hidden treasures like this, make sure to smash that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets coming your way. Drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual coin, and let's see who has the craziest story. Alright, folks, let me ask you a question. How often do you actually look at your pennies? No, really. We toss them in jars, lose them under couch cushions, and sometimes, we even walk past them on the sidewalk like they don't matter. But what if I told you that a single 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a staggering $1.7 million? Yeah, that's right, one single penny could literally change your life, so before you roll your eyes and say, "Come on, no way," stick around. Today, we're diving into the crazy world of coin collecting to break down why this seemingly ordinary penny is actually a hidden goldmine. Plus, I'll share a story about the time I almost missed out on a valuable penny myself. Trust me, you're gonna want to hear this one. Let's rewind to 1964. The Beatles were taking over the world, gas was 30 cents a gallon, and the US Mint was churning out Lincoln pennies like nobody's business. But here's where it gets interesting. The 1964 Denver Mint produced billions of these pennies, but some of them had errors and rare qualities that make them incredibly valuable today. One of the biggest factors? Minting errors, the error that made this penny a fortune. Now, not just any 1964 D penny is worth millions. You gotta look for certain key features. Some rare errors include double die outbursts, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. These small details can make a world of difference in value. Imagine having a penny in your pocket right now that looks slightly off but is actually a hidden fortune. That's what makes coin hunting so exciting, and here's the kicker: some 1964 D pennies were accidentally struck on silver planchets. Yes, silver. So if you find one of these, you're not just holding a rare penny, you're holding a small piece of history worth big money. First, grab a magnifying glass. Check for any doubling on Lincoln's features, his nose, chin, or the word liberty. If you see some shadowing or an extra outline, bingo! You've got a double die penny. Second, weigh the coin. A regular Lincoln penny weighs 3.11 grams, but if it's struck on a silver planchet, it'll be slightly heavier. That tiny difference could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars. Lastly, check for minting errors like an off-center strike or a repunched mint mark. If anything looks unusual, don't spend it, get it checked by a professional coin grading service. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable penny. A few years back, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, because let's be honest, we all have that one drawer full of random stuff we'll deal with later. I was tossing out old receipts, broken pens, and a handful of pennies I figured were just pocket change, but right before I dumped them into my coin jar, something caught my eye. One penny looked slightly different. The color was off, and the mint mark seemed a little weird. Long story short, I did some research, took it to a coin dealer, and bam, it was a valuable error coin. Now, I didn't strike millionaire status, but let's just say it paid for a nice vacation, alright? So let's talk numbers. Right now, a 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny in regular condition might only be worth a few cents. But if it has those key errors we talked about, especially the silver planchet mistake, it can sell for $1.7 million at auction. Collectors go wild for these rare pennies because they're not just money, they're pieces of history. Think about it, how many people walked around in 1964 with a pocket full of change, never realizing they were holding what would one day be a fortune? the pennies at the bottom of your purse? The jar you keep on top of the fridge? Any one of them could be worth millions, and if you found today's video helpful, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more hidden treasures in your pocket change. Like this video, share it with a friend who needs to start checking their coins, and let me know in the comments, have you ever found a valuable coin? Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through your spare change, maybe fishing a penny out from under your couch cushions or finding one stuck in your car's cup holder, and boom! You're holding onto a tiny copper fortune. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, I'm here to tell you the dream could be real, especially if you have a 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard that right. This little coin, often overlooked and dismissed as just another penny, could be worth an astonishing $1.80 million. So, grab your piggy banks, check your pockets, and let's dive into the fascinating world of this rare and valuable penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be on your way to becoming a coin collector, or at least a lot richer than you were before. Now, let's talk about what makes this 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special. First, the basics. If you flip over any US penny, you'll likely see a little letter under the date, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. But some pennies, like this 1977 version, have no mint mark at all. Well, most of these pennies were made at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't start consistently using a mint mark on pennies until 1980. But here's the kicker, not all 1977 no mint mark pennies are worth millions. The one that's making headlines is a rare error coin, struck with an unusual combination of metal or an ultra-rare die variety. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what to look for. First, condition is everything. If your 1977 penny has been rattling around in your pocket for years, it's probably just worth a cent. But if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded by a professional service as MS65 or higher, then we're talking serious money. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, my friend Jake, who knows absolutely nothing about coins, called me up all excited. He had found a 1977 penny and was convinced it was worth millions. He sends me a picture, and, well, let's just say it had seen better days. Scratched, dented, and looking like it had been through a garbage disposal. I had to break the news that his $1 million penny was more of a buy you half a piece of gum penny. But hey, it got him interested in coin collecting. And that's the real win, right? But let's get back to the real deal. What exactly makes the $1.8 million version of this penny so valuable? Experts believe that a few were accidentally struck on a different metal planchet, making them unique. Others might have rare doubling errors or be in near-perfect condition. Only a handful of these gems have surfaced, which is why they're fetching such insane prices at auctions. One lucky collector sold his for nearly $2 million, all because he took the time to check his spare change. Never underestimate a penny. That little copper coin in your pocket could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. Next time you get a handful of change at the store, take a good look, you might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. Now, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or at least worth more than a penny for your thoughts, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting tips coming your way, and you won't want to miss out on the next big discovery. Hey everyone! Have you ever found a penny on the ground and just walked right past it? Or maybe you picked it up, tossed it in your pocket, and forgot about it? Well, what if I told you that one tiny penny, specifically, a 1993 D Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yep, you heard that right. That little copper beauty hiding in your change jar could be the ticket to an early retirement. Before you start tearing apart your couch cushions and raiding your piggy bank, let's dive into why this penny is worth so much, what makes it special, and how you can tell if you've got one in your possession. Stick with me because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in on your lucky find. It's not made of solid gold, and it wasn't buried in a pirate's treasure chest. But what it does have is rarity and a very specific error that makes it incredibly valuable. The D mint mark tells us this penny was made in Denver. Now, Denver cranked out millions of these pennies, so why is this one worth over $1 million? It all comes down to a rare minting error. Some of these pennies were mistakenly struck on the wrong planchet, a blank disc used for minting coins. Instead of the standard copper-plated zinc composition, a small batch was struck on bronze planchets left over from previous years. These are the ones collectors go crazy for. And now, if you're wondering how you can tell if your 1993D penny is one of the valuable ones, here's what you need to do. First, check the weight. A normal penny from 1993 should weigh about 2.5 grams. But the rare bronze era pennies weigh around 3.1 grams. So grab a digital scale and start weighing those pennies. If you don't have a scale handy, there's another way to test. Try the drop test. A normal zinc penny has a dull, almost plastic-like sound when dropped on a table. But a bronze penny has a more distinct, ringing sound. It's not foolproof, but it can give you a clue. Even if you've got a rare 1993D bronze penny, its value depends on its condition. A beat-up, scratched-up penny won't fetch as much as one in pristine condition. That's why collectors look for high-grade, uncirculated versions with sharp details and no major flaws. If your penny has that fresh from the mint look, you're in for a big payday. Speaking of paydays, let's talk money. In 2023, one of these rare 1993D pennies sold at auction for a staggering $1.1 million. And with collectors constantly on the hunt, prices could climb even higher in the future. So if you find one, don't just take it to your local bank or spend it on a cup of coffee. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service first. And I get it. It's kind of like winning the lottery, but hey, people win the lottery all the time. And the best part? Checking your pennies is free. You've got nothing to lose and a million reasons to give it a shot. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, a buddy of mine found a rare penny in his dad's old coin collection. At first, he thought, nah, it's just an old penny. But after doing some research and getting it checked out, he ended up selling it for thousands of dollars. Not a million, but enough for a pretty nice vacation. And all it took was a little curiosity and a closer look. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Go dig through your coin jars, check under the couch, and raid your junk drawers. And if you find a 1993D penny, weigh it, test it, and get it checked out. You might just be holding onto $1 million treasure without even knowing it. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more coin collecting tips and money-making strategies. I've got plenty more hidden gems to share with you, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Hey, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and people who just found a random penny in their couch cushions. Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the hidden gems in your spare change. Today, we're talking about a penny that might just change your life. Yep, the 1992D Lincoln penny. And now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. What could it possibly be worth? Well, buckle up, because this little guy has been making waves in the coin collecting world, and one was recently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right, $1.2 million for a single cent. I don't know about you, but the last time I found a penny, I just flicked it across the parking lot like a bad habit. Turns out, I may have thrown away a fortune. Let's dive in and see if you've got one of these valuable pennies hiding in your collection. Well, it all comes down to a tiny, almost imperceptible difference, the close AM variety. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, let me break it down. On the reverse side of the penny, where it says America, there are two variations. The regular version has a noticeable gap between the letters A and M. But the rare and valuable version? The A and M are so close they're practically hugging. Now, I have to tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Joe, was going through his old piggy bank one day, just looking for quarters to do laundry. He pulled out a 1992D penny, shrugged, and almost threw it back in. But something told him to take a second look. He grabbed a magnifying glass, because, let's be honest, our eyes aren't what they used to be, and lo and behold, he had the rare close AM penny. He ended up selling it for a five-figure sum, and let's just say, he's not doing laundry at the coin op anymore. Now, let's talk about value. A circulated version of this penny, meaning one that's been used in everyday transactions, can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But if you have one in mint condition, you could be sitting on that $1.2 million jackpot. So before you spend that penny on a piece of gum, take a closer look. It's simple. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature and examine the America on the back of the coin. If the letters are nearly touching, you just might have struck gold or, well, copper. First, take a deep breath. Second, get it authenticated by a professional grading service. Third, start planning what you're going to do with your newfound riches. Maybe a trip to Hawaii? A lifetime supply of tacos? The possibilities are endless, so, there you have it, folks. The humble little 1992 D Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing amount of money. This just goes to show that treasure isn't always buried deep underground, sometimes, it's right there in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and crazy stories from the world of coin collecting, and before you go, tell me in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's talk about it. Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 1986 Lincoln penny was minted at 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, you'd see a little letter under the date, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and nothing for Philadelphia. But here's where it gets interesting, not every 1986 penny without a mint mark is from Philadelphia. Some of these pennies were struck with a rare error, making them super valuable, and now, you may be wondering, how did this happen? Well, let's just say that even the US Mint has its oops moments. And trust me, their oops can turn into your payday. Now, let's talk value. What makes this particular penny worth $1.3 million? A combination of rarity, condition, and demand. These error pennies are incredibly hard to come by. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover, if 4-leaf clovers were made of copper and worth a fortune. If you have a 1986 no mint mark penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it's been chilling in a coin album instead of rattling around in your car's cup holder, you could be sitting on serious cash. Coin collectors go wild for rare pennies. It's like the Black Friday of coin collecting, but instead of a discount, people are dropping millions on a tiny piece of metal. Okay, I have to tell you this story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, the kind where everything smells like old books and nostalgia. I was digging through a box of random junk when I spotted a little coin album. The lady selling it said, "Oh, that belonged to my grandfather. I think there's just some old pennies in there." Say less. I bought it for $5 and rushed home like I had just stolen the Declaration of Independence. I opened it up and boom, there it was, a 1986 no mint mark penny. My heart was racing faster than a kid who just found out it's pizza night. It wasn't the rare error variety. Just a regular 1986 penny. Worth 1 cent absolutely. Did I immediately go on eBay and buy more coin albums just in case? You bet I did. And that's the moral of the story, folks. Always check your change, because you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Now, I know you're probably staring at your couch cushions right now, wondering if they've been secretly hoarding millions for you. So let's go over where to find one of these bad boys. If you've got a coin stash from the 80s or 90s, now's the time to go treasure hunting. Grandma's cookie tin might just be a hidden goldmine. Bankrolls, get some rolls of pennies from the bank and start searching. Who knows? Your next deposit might turn into $1 million withdrawal. Take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its value. Don't clean it. Seriously, don't even think about scrubbing it with soap. Collectors want original, untouched coins. Rare pennies like this go for big bucks at auctions. Find a reputable auction house and let the bidding war begin. The humble 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth $1.3 million, and you might have one sitting in your pocket right now. This just proves that treasure isn't always buried, it's sometimes jingling around in your spare change. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. And hey, drop a comment below, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's talk treasure hunting. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and treasure hunters? Imagine this, you're digging through your loose change, maybe buying a soda, and bam. You spot a 1991 D Lincoln penny. Looks like just another penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that little copper coin could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.4 million. That's a house, a luxury car, or, let's be real, a lifetime supply of tacos. Today, we're talking about how this seemingly ordinary penny turned out to be a jackpot in disguise. So stick around, because you might just have one sitting in your piggy bank. The 1991 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mark under the year. Millions were made, so what makes one of them worth over $1 million? Well, it all comes down to a rare error in pristine condition. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc, making them a true rarity. In 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from bronze to a zinc core with a copper coating to cut costs. But somehow, a few of these 1991 pennies were still made with the older bronze composition. That mix-up is what makes them so valuable. It's like finding a first edition comic book in your attic. If your 1991 D penny has scratches, dents, or signs of wear, it's still a great find but not quite the $1 million jackpot. The most valuable one sold at auction was graded MS69 red, meaning it was nearly perfect, shiny, untouched, like it just came out of the mint yesterday. So if you find one, handle it with care. No rubbing it on your jeans like you're trying to clean your sunglasses. A buddy of mine, we'll call him Dave, once told me he was sorting through a jar of pennies while watching TV. Just casually dropping them in a roll. He spots a 1991 D penny, and instead of tossing it aside, he does a quick Google search. Turns out, it had the telltale signs of the rare bronze error. Long story short? He got it authenticated, sent it to an auction, and let's just say Dave is now living a much fancier life than he used to. All because of one penny. If that's not motivation to check your change, I don't know what is. If you have a 1991 D penny, check it right now. Look for the weight difference. A normal zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams, but if yours weighs 3.1 grams, congratulations. You might be holding a fortune in your hands, and before you run off to raid your couch cushions, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips on rare coins that could make you rich, and let's be real, who doesn't love money? Also, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin. I love hearing your stories. Alright, happy hunting, my fellow coin collectors. May your pockets be filled with treasure, and may your pennies be worth a fortune. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and folks who just found an old penny in their couch cushions, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a surprising little coin that might just make your jaw drop, the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. What's the big deal? Well, let me tell you, this bad boy could be worth $1.5 million in the right conditions. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. The same kind you probably flicked into a fountain last week for good luck. So grab your coin jars, your old piggy banks, or even that one drawer in your house where random things mysteriously collect, and let's see if you're sitting on a hidden fortune. Alright, let's break it down. The 1971 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike pennies with a D, Denver, or an S, San Francisco, this one doesn't carry a letter, making it unique. Certain variations of this penny are highly sought after by collectors due to rare errors, special striking conditions, or just their sheer scarcity in top condition. Now, before you start dumping out your pockets, let's talk about why this penny can be worth a fortune. If your 1971 no mint mark penny is in near perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, it could be worth thousands. Possibly even millions. That's right, the cleaner and shinier, the better. Some of these pennies were struck with a double die, meaning the lettering and date may appear slightly doubled. If you spot one, congratulations. You've got a goldmine in copper form. If your penny looks a little off, or Lincoln's head isn't quite where it should be, that's a potential jackpot. Collectors love oddities. Ever seen a penny missing part of its design, or with extra metal? Those factory mistakes can send the value skyrocketing. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was at my grandma's house. She had this giant old jar of pennies that she had been collecting for decades. One day, I decided to sift through it, hoping to find something cool. And guess what? I found a 1971 penny with no mint mark. At first, I thought, nice. But it's probably just a regular penny. Then I did some research, and my heart almost stopped, because the right variety of this coin was worth serious money. I rushed to get it checked by a coin expert, and let's just say, it wasn't the $1 million version. But it was still worth more than a penny. That one coin you overlooked might just be your lucky break. So now you're probably wondering, okay, how do I check if my 1971 penny is worth big bucks? If there's no letter under the year, you're on the right track. If it looks brand new, you might have a high-grade coin. Use a magnifying glass and look for doubling, misalignment, or odd markings. If you think you have a winner, send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official valuation. Finding one in pristine condition with a unique error. That's what makes collectors go wild. The surprising value of the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Who would have thought that something so small could be worth so much? Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a valuable coin? Maybe you have a lucky penny story of your own? Drop a comment below and let's talk coins. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more tips, tricks, and crazy coin discoveries. Who knows? The next video might just help you uncover another hidden treasure. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Have you ever thought about checking your pocket change? Because today, I'm going to tell you why a simple 2006 Lincoln penny might just make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth $1.6 million. Crazy, right? But before you go frantically dumping out your piggy bank, let's break it all down so you know exactly what to look for and why this tiny coin holds such a massive value. Oh, and if you love uncovering hidden treasures in your spare change, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You wouldn't want to accidentally spend $1 million penny on a cup of coffee, right? Alright, let's get to the big question: how does a 1-cent coin end up being worth over $1 million? The answer, my friends, is a mix of rarity, errors, and collector demand. The 2006 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and while millions of these pennies were produced, a handful of them ended up with an ultra-rare error that makes them astronomically valuable. We're talking about a double die error, off-center strikes, and even a rare composition issue that makes some of these pennies stand out from the rest. Well, maybe. But not every 2006 penny is worth a fortune. Let's go over the key details to check 4 of the rare features that make it worth $1.6 million. If you have a 2006 penny, here's what you should look for. This means Lincoln's face or the inscriptions appear slightly doubled, making the coin a minting mistake but a collector's dream. If your penny looks like it was stamped off to the side and part of the design is missing, that's a rare minting error. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on a different metal composition, making them incredibly valuable. And now, don't go running to the store trying to buy all the rolls of pennies they have. Most of these rare pennies were found in circulation by people just like you who actually took the time to inspect their spare change. The penny that almost got spent. I've got a wild story for you. A good friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was doing laundry one day and found an old penny stuck in his jeans pocket. Instead of tossing it into the coin jar, he took a closer look. Turns out, it was a 2006 penny with a noticeable double die error. Now, Mike wasn't a coin collector, but something told him to hold on to it. A few weeks later, he casually mentioned the penny to me, and I almost dropped my coffee. I told him to get it appraised, and guess what? That one little penny was valued at over $10,000. Not quite $1.6 million, but still, that's a heck of a profit for a coin that was about to go through the washing machine. Pay attention to your spare change. You never know when you might be sitting on a fortune. The 2006 Lincoln penny isn't just another coin. If you have one with the right rare features, double die, off-center strike, or wrong planchet error, you could be looking at a coin worth life-changing money. Go check your pockets, your couch cushions, your old piggy bank, heck, even that change jar in your car. If you find a 2006 penny, inspect it carefully, because you might just have a hidden treasure. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I post regularly about valuable coins and hidden gems you might have lying around, so don't miss out. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you're heading off to check your stash right now. Alright, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change to buy that last-minute snack. You pull out a few pennies and boom, you realize one of them could be worth a whopping $1.7 million. Wait, what? Yep, you heard that right. There's a 2011 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there that's making collectors lose their minds, and today, we're diving deep into why this little copper coin is causing such a big commotion. So, if you've got a piggy bank full of pennies you thought were just pocket change, think again. One of those could be your golden ticket, well, copper ticket, to an insane payday. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this. The 2011 mint Mark Lincoln penny might look like any other penny, but certain rare errors in minting quirks have sent its value skyrocketing. That little letter under the date stands for Denver, meaning this coin was minted in the Mile High City. And while millions were made, only a handful have that special something collectors go crazy for. One of the biggest reasons this penny is worth so much is a rare minting error. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, a fancy term for the metal disc used to make the coin. Instead of being the usual zinc-coated copper, a few of these were made from pure copper, a mistake that makes them ultra-valuable. One of these error pennies was recently auctioned off for an unbelievable $1.7 million. That's more than some houses cost. Imagine telling your landlord, "Nah, I'm good. I'll just pay rent with this penny." Good question. First, grab a magnet. Regular pennies from 2011 are mostly zinc, which means they won't stick to a magnet. But if yours does, it could be one of those rare errors. Second, weigh it. A normal 2011 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare copper error coin comes in at 3.1 grams. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was always making fun of me for my obsession with coins. He'd say, "Oh, you and your pennies, what are you gonna do, retire off one?" Yep, Mike. He found an odd-looking 2011 D penny, did some research, and realized it might be one of the rare ones. He sent it in for grading, and guess what? It turned out to be worth over 6 figures. Now, every time I see him, I remind him that my little hobby literally changed his life. Never underestimate your spare change. That little penny jingling in your pocket could be worth more than you ever imagined. And who knows? Maybe you've got $1 million coin just waiting to be discovered. If you learned something new today, hit that like button and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. And don't forget to subscribe for more coin hunting tips and tricks. You never know, the next video might just help you strike it rich. Hey, coin hunters! Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins could be worth $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1973 D Lincoln penny, something you might have sitting in a jar somewhere, could make you richer than you ever imagined. But how does a penny go from being worth, well, a penny, to being worth $1 million? And more importantly, do you have one? Stick around, because today, we're diving into the surprising and downright crazy value of the 1973 D Lincoln penny. Grab your loose change and let's get started, so let's get into it. The 1973 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mint mark under the year. Over 310 million of these were made, which makes you wonder, how can something so common be worth a small fortune? Well, let's break it down. Not all 1973 D pennies are created equal. Most are just worth face value, but a few rare ones have errors that make them incredibly valuable. We're talking double die outbursts, off-center strikes, and even wrong metal compositions. These tiny mistakes turn an everyday penny into a jackpot for collectors. You're at a gas station, and you get some change back. You look down and see a penny that looks weird, maybe Lincoln's face is slightly doubled, or the coin looks shinier than usual. That could be your golden ticket. Now, let's get to the jaw-dropping part. The reason some of these pennies are worth millions is because of their rarity and demand. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, yes, that's a real word, are willing to pay big bucks for coins with unique features. One particular 1973 D Lincoln penny with a rare minting error was sold at auction for a whopping $1.8 million. Why? Because it was one of the only known examples of its kind. This is like finding a misprinted baseball card or an old comic book with a rare cover, except, it's a penny. A super valuable penny. A rare few were accidentally struck on bronze planchets instead of zinc, making them heavier than usual. If it looks unusual compared to other pennies, get it checked. A few years ago, I was going through my old coin collection, just some pennies, nickels, and the occasional wheat penny. I found a 1973 D penny that looked off. The color seemed different, and the edges were just slightly thicker than the others. I thought, probably nothing, and tossed it back in the jar. Big mistake. Fast forward to last year, I saw a news article about a rare 1973 D penny selling for over $1 million. I ran to check my collection, but guess what? That penny was gone, probably spent on a vending machine snack or lost in a couch cushion somewhere. Cue dramatic music. Coin lovers, that's the crazy story of the 1973 D Lincoln penny. Who would have thought that something so small and ordinary could be worth so much? This is why it pays, literally, to check your change, dig through your old coin jars, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Or maybe you have a lucky coin story? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it, and before you go, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I've got more coin hunting secrets coming your way. Who knows? The next video might help you uncover $1 million coin hiding in plain sight.